More Sweet 16 action coming on Friday. It all starts at 7:09 Eastern on CBS when Tom Izzo and Michigan State tip it up with Tim Doyle. Chris Beard's Ole Miss Rebs. Hotty Toddy, one of 7 teams out of the SEC to reach the Sweet 16. And motivation comes from many places, even right here on this very desk.
Yes, we did. The first time that I was asked about it was at a press conference locally, and I wasn't aware of it. So I think when I said we haven't spent a second talking about it, that was the truth at the time. But after kind of educating myself through others about that, of course we talked about it. And, at the end of the day, I don't know, maybe the guy was trying to do us a favor. Maybe he's a closet Ole Miss fan, just doesn't want to tell anybody. So, I understand it's Ole Miss. It's not blue blood. So those guys that sit there in the fancy suits in the studio that have never been to Oxford for a practice, to my knowledge, have never seen us play live. They get paid to stir the pot a little bit. So above all, we say thank you. We say thank you for, all publicity is good publicity. And, there's no doubt about it. Our guys are looking for that chip. They're looking for that fuel, and it comes from all over. I know Andy Katz, somebody I respect a lot. He's got a 16 of 16, and, that's been on our locker room bulletin board this week as well.
That all in response to Tim Doyle's pre-tournament fraud stamp of Ole Miss, Joe Musso, Adam Finkelstein, Hunter Dickinson, and the aforementioned. TD, have we reached the point of the narrative where you're all in, you're with the Rebs now? Is this like donating to NIL collectives? Where are we at in the storyline?
Congratulations. I'm happy that Chris Beard, Hunter, is using me as motivation with his team. I know you had a really nice NIL deal at Kansas, but Chris Beard makes $5 million a year. And he's using me for motivation. Hunter, last year I made 86.5, okay? And he's using me as motivation. No, all honesty, congratulations to Ole Miss. Bit fortunate, caught North Carolina, who a lot of people said shouldn't have been in the tournament. They beat them fair and square. And then outstanding performance against Iowa State, who was missing their best player, Keyshawn Gilbert. And here's the deal. They're playing a Big Ten school. So I can't jump on the wagon yet. And I have Michigan State. I had them in my region going to the Final Four, so I'm going to take them in this game. But Sean Padul, the way he's making shots, his team's playing with a lot of confidence. Bravo, that's all I can say to Ole Miss.
We're going to get to some favorite matchups here. I do want Hunter's point of view on this. When, let's say, you're in the room with the guys, how much of this type of stuff during tourney time do you hear, and how much are you seeking it out to look for that little extra fuel to the fire?
When you got a guy like Tim Doyle talking, I don't think you can take it too serious. But, when you're in the tournament time and, you're a tournament team and you feel like you deserve it and you belong there, I feel like it's easy to take any bulletin board material and make it into some momentum. Guys are trying to always play with a chip on their shoulder. It usually makes guys play better. Especially, in the locker rooms, you're always trying to take any fuel to the fire that you can. And the tournament's, a perfect time to do that. So I think, it's definitely a good time for some bulletin board material. I think Chris Beard might, have to break off some of that $5 million salary over here to Tim.
Doing some work on your behalf there.
Yeah,
Tim,
finally, I should get my own Ole Miss NIL deal.
The story rolls on. I do believe there was a deal made prior to that last win where you are heading down to Ole Miss. There will be a dunk tank involved. There's all sorts of different tiers to this storyline. I'm sure it'll take on a life of its own. We do have some basketball to get to as well. Adam, I'm coming to you here. Your most intriguing matchup on Friday takes us.
I'm just glad I don't have to talk about Ole Miss. In all seriousness, the thing I would like to talk about is Houston having to play Purdue in Indianapolis. Houston is the #1 seed in that region, and they are essentially playing a road game, playing a Purdue team that went to the national championship game last year in Indianapolis. I think that's wrong. I think the committee should have taken this into consideration. I think it gives Purdue an unjust advantage in this game because they're going to have all the crowd support. And I get it's not on their campus, but in terms of having the crowd with you, Purdue is going to have a distinct advantage in this game.
Also a 9:09 tip, local time there, 10:09 Eastern time. That Indy line.
Not to be confused with 9:08 or 9:10. 9:09.
Yeah, these are tee times, not tip times. I'm not sure. I'm sure there's something.
There's got to be a reason
beyond it.
Yeah.
Special players do make special plays on special days. That's often what this tournament comes down to. We saw some special performances on Thursday night. It's a player you have your eye on, Hunter, here on Friday.
On Friday, I got Trey Donaldson. I think, having played at Auburn, transferring to Michigan, and also I feel like the guard play is going to determine this game. I think Michigan's got the best front court in terms of the teams remaining in the tournament. And I think it'll really come down to, how good their guards play against Auburn's guards. And, Auburn has, a plethora of guards to, use at their disposal. But Michigan's got Trey Donaldson, Roddy Gale. I think those are going to be the guys that, if they have big games like they've been playing recently, I think they have a good shot to take down the #1 overall seed.
Cannot wait for more madness coming our way on Friday in the Sweet 16. Tim Doyle, any last points of contention to roll out here?
No, go Ole Miss.
With the confidence of a team perhaps heading to the Elite Eight, Tim Doyle, you are one of a kind. Here's a look at what's coming your way on our CBS family. It's Ole Miss, Michigan State, 7:09 Eastern, then Michigan, Auburn. That's all coming your way on CBS and streaming live on Paramount+.